and I go on to his Instagram.
Oh no. The Instagram is never the place to go. And what did you find?
I go onto his Instagram and he's removed all the pictures of us.
And you were fine,
Yeah, we were fine. I was like, why? Why have you deleted all these pictures? And he was like, oh, babe, the production team have told me that I need to... Honestly, when you say it back, you're just like, are you okay?
Buckle up, bitches. This is gonna get bumpy. This is the breakup diet.
Hi everyone. Before we get into this episode, could you please subscribe, follow the breakup diet? It really means the world and it means I get to keep making these episodes. So if you could please do that, I would be forever grateful and I hope you enjoy it. Welcome back to another episode of The Breakup Diet. Today I have a very exciting guest. I have Amy Jane. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
For anybody that might not know you, get a little intro.
So I'm Amy and I'm Welsh and I was on Love is Blind season 2, UK. But yeah, it was a very exciting journey and one I'd like to share with you. But also I've shared the exciting part of it up until now. But I'd almost kind of like to share what's unfolded on the other side of it as well.
Before we go into the unfolding, what actually made you want to go on the show in the first place?
I was kind of in a place in my life where I was transitioning from, I'd been living in Dubai for 8 years and I was transitioning and moving back to the UK. Mm-hmm. And the opportunity presented itself to me. I got reached out by one of the casting team to go on to the show. And I thought, well, I'm in a period of my life where I've done a lot of healing. I'm ready to settle down and find my person, get married and live happily ever after and build a life with somebody. Like I had such a fabulous life by myself. I was like, I want to have that and share that with somebody else.
Yeah.
So when the opportunity came up, I was like, yeah, perfect. Like perfect timing. And I just thought the universe has delivered.
Reality TV tends to be people that there's lots of drama because people want to watch drama. So that was the only thing that I would be scared of. Were you scared of that or not really?
I honestly don't think I thought about that side of things. And obviously watching previous shows as well, I'd seen that it works for people and people are in there for genuine reasons. And it's more kind of like an older way of dating rather than Love Island, where everyone's going in there for kind of promote themselves. And, there probably was a little bit of that from some people in there. But for me, I think I knew I was in there for the right reason. So I didn't question whether other people were in there for the right reasons before going in.
Like if I was looking at it, I'd be like, yeah, okay, they've tried on the outside, it's not worked. So they've gone in to try to be like, okay, let's
leave it to the professionals and match me up with somebody I'm meant to be with.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously not doing a very good job myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of went in there with an open mind and I was really excited to go in there and find somebody. It wasn't until kind of you got further into it, you started to question whether people were in there for genuine reasons or not.
It's actually really weird. I was just thinking about how you go in and you don't see them and you're in a...
Do you know what though? It was nice to kind of take away, like you also weren't concerned about, even though you were on camera and even though you didn't pay attention to them, but you weren't concerned about what you looked like or whether, I forgot hair in my face, or you were just authentically being yourself when you were in there, which was quite nice and refreshing.
I've definitely done this when I've gone on a date and you're not even listening to the other person because you're too paranoid about, your lipstick might be up here or you're sitting weird and you're like, just
100%. And you were just completely relaxed. I do think we live in a generation we care a lot about what our looks are looking like and what other people look like. And when you're on dating apps, it's all visually what they look like rather than what's inside.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's changed my way of dating, if I'm honest.
Has it made you better at asking questions?
Yeah, 100%. You ask more. It's more like hard-hitting questions. It's changed my mindset where I think if you can't give me that kind of emotional intelligence and that depth, we're not at the same stage in life, because I think you can go weeks into dating and it'd be very surface level, whereas you almost had like 10, 11 days where it was intense and you almost covered kind of 4 weeks of dating in them 2 weeks.
That's crazy. That's so good. Yeah. Like a fast track.
Yeah, it was. It was like a fast track into getting to know somebody in their lives. And yeah, it was nice. It was fun. It was fun.
Okay, so you did that, and they didn't show you.
No, they didn't. They covered it outside of the show because there was so many twists and turns in the storyline. And because ultimately we didn't get married at the end of it, it wouldn't have made sense to a viewer, which was fine. And I almost think that was a bit of a blessing in disguise at the same time, because when I've watched some of the girls and their stories unfold and how they've been so upset by everything, it's quite an intense process to go through it once. And I think once is enough to go through it without having to watch it back.
When did you find that out?
Quite late on, I think.
But you were still filming and they were like, no.
Basically, yeah, they only follow a certain amount of couples. They only take a certain amount of couples to retreats, and they were like, we're not going to follow you. I wasn't gutted by it. I was like, I've gone on there, I've met somebody that I want to be with. And that was ultimately what I wanted.
Yeah.
Anything else that came of it was a bonus, but ultimately I just wanted to find my person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I came out of there and I was very happy. Like it was quite nice because all the cast members, the ones that got followed and the ones that didn't get shown, you made friendships for life. And it's just so nice because you've all shared an experience that not many people have.
Yeah.
So you almost have this bond with each other that you kind of don't get with other people because you don't go that in depth with other people's lives and friendships. Such a fun experience to pop out the other end. And we all kind of lived our own lives for a little bit, like in this bubble with each other where we all kind of went away on holidays and then we were all having nights out together.
That's so fun.
Yeah, and we were like, this is where the drama is. The drama isn't with the couples. The drama's in this circle of friends.
Oh no, so what happened? I'm going to have to ask.
There was so much going on. Like everybody tried to like almost jump ship slightly. And then when people came out and saw each other and realised that they were attracted to each other, they were then like, oh, well, actually, maybe there is something there. And for a long time, like everybody was almost trying to mix and match with each other. I think it's got to a point now where we're like, guys, there are other people out there in the world, apart from us 30 individuals, where we feel the need to try and connect with each other.
So when you left it, you were stayed with your partner for a while?
Left the pods, like were we the only couple? Yeah, I think we were. We were the only couple that weren't followed that actually maintains a relationship.
Oh, wow.
He lived quite a distance from me, so we were like 5 hours away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
After about 3 months of dating, we were like, this long distance is taking its toll. Like, I'm in work, you're working, it's busy. When we first come out of the pods and filming, we all had this time off, and like I was transitioning between jobs, so we had the flexibility to be seeing each other quite a lot.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, how does that actually work? Because like if you have a job, do you have to leave your job?
So lots of people did leave their jobs. Me and my ex, we were very similar from the point that I'd just moved home from Dubai, so I had no job. We were able to spend a lot of time together, and it was quite intense. Like we'd had this crash course of dating and getting to know each other, and then like we popped out the other end and saw each other, and we were like, oh my God, like this is it. Like the universe has put us together. But then after 3 months where because I'm actually a teacher, and I was doing a little bit of supply teaching at the time, and I said, I need to get something that's more permanent. Like I can't be here, there and everywhere. Yeah. And he was working remotely, so I ended up moving up with him. So we lived together for 6 months, and it was quite a hard transition. Yeah. It was quite intense because he was struggling with his job. I was struggling with being away from friends and family and almost being solely reliant on him to do things, for a friendship. He's a bit of a free spirit, so he's very much like can't be stationary in one place at one time. Mm-hmm. And whilst initially that was quite attractive in the beginning, because I'm a little bit of a free spirit, but I was like, hang on a minute, I've lived my life now, but now I want to share it with somebody and have some form of stability. Yeah. But he was very much like, oh, we've got lots of time for that. Like, let's just go and live our lives. It'll be the last summer that we've got no commitments. Mm-hmm. So I was like, right, okay, that means now I need to leave my job because
he wants to go
and have a summer traveling. We ended up in Malta for the summer, and it was just a disaster.
Oh no.
I was just like, this is just not going to work. Like, there's so many outside stresses right now impacting in our relationship. Like, you could just see it breaking down. But yeah, we spent the summer then away in Europe, and we went to Ibiza and Malta, but you could just see everything was starting to crumble. And in my gut, I was like, this isn't the life I want to be living. Like, I like that to a certain extent, but on some level, what are we actually doing? Like, what's the bigger goal here?
Yeah.
I was almost kind of in a place where I was like, I would like to start a family sooner rather than later. You know, I'd like our own family as well. And that was something we discussed and sat down and spoke about. And he was very much like, yeah, we'll do that. And then it kind of got to September time, and we discussed where we wanted to live. And he was very set on the fact that he didn't want to be in Lincoln. He was like, I don't want to be there. I'd rather be in a city. I'd rather be in Manchester, London, Cardiff. And I said, well, I'll sort my job at home. But I was very much like, even then, in the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself, I'm not moving to another city, because if this falls apart, you work remotely and you can just up and leave if it doesn't work. Whereas then I'm stuck in a job in a city where I can't up and leave.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we looked at apartments and moving in together, and this opportunity came up for him to do a little bit of filming in Thailand.
Filming for what?
Filming some random skateboarding show and hosting the show.
Okay.
He was like, look, I think I just need a few weeks where I refresh and then I'll come back a better person. Mm-hmm. And I was like, initially I was a bit like, sorry, we're speaking about moving in together. Now you want to go to Thailand. Like, how does that even work?
Yeah.
But me being the person that I am, I was very much like, if that's what you need to make yourself feel better and that's going to make you happy, like, you go and do that.
How long was he meant to go for?
3 weeks. He went out and he'd started like day 2 of filming. And I go on to his Instagram.
Oh no. The Instagram is never the place to go. What did you find?
Go onto his Instagram and he's removed all the pictures of us.
And you were fine, like...
Yeah, we were fine. I was like, why have you deleted all these pictures? And he was like, oh, babe, the production team have told me that I need to... Honestly, when you say it back, you're just like, are you okay? The production team had told me it's better if I present as a single person. You're hosting a skateboarding show, not a dating show. But anyway, so he was out in Thailand filming. Communication was few and far between. And then I'm sat there this one night in my best friend's house, and I am my own worst enemy from the point of view that I will find anything out about anybody.
That's me. Sorry, that's me.
And I will just spiral. I'm like a dog with a bone where I will just pick until I get to the bottom. I discover that he's just followed his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
So I ring him instantly and I'm like, why are you now following your ex-girlfriend? He was like, oh, babe, it's nothing. Like, she messaged me. She was like, oh, you're back in Thailand. And he was like, it's nothing. Like, I swear on the kids' lives, like, there's nothing going on. And I'm like, the math is not mathing here, right? And then you can just see it starts to unfold. Like, it starts coming up on my friend's tab now that he's like liking girls' reels and liking girls' Instagrams. And I just ring him and I'm in the car and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I can't even remember doing it. I've been drunk. And I'm like, well, you've been drunk for 3 days. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do this to me. Like, just be honest with me. So he starts, he's like, oh, I just don't know. I don't know what I want. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're in this back and forth for about a week. And I send them this bing long message and I'm like, look, like, I'm having sleepless nights. I'm questioning where you are, what you're doing, like, what's going on is not how we are as people. You're not even seeing what you're doing to me because you're out of the country. Like, my friends and my family are around me and watching me almost like disappear into this little shell of a human. I woke up to, because of the time difference, I woke up to this message has been deleted. So he'd replied to me and deleted the message before I'd woken up to see it.
In that message, were you breaking up with him?
Yeah, so I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to respect myself here and what I stand for as a person, and what you're doing is not okay.
Yeah.
I was like, right, I need to brush myself off and have some good girl time. So I was like, where else do I go? Dubai. With the girls, let's book it.
A holiday always helps.
Yeah. So one of the girls had posted on her Instagram story, like, can't wait to see you, like whatever she'd written on the story, and a picture of me and her. So he'd seen the post of me going to Dubai, and he rang me and he was like, oh, you going to Dubai, yeah? He was like, oh, well, I hope you have a nice time. And I was like, thanks.
I will.
And that was it. So obviously it's been a few weeks at this point, like 3 or 4 weeks between us not really speaking and then me going out to Dubai. And
how are you doing at that stage?
I'm on the floor, basically, like trying to pick and I've got my best friends around me, like, come on, go and have a nice girls trip, you'll have a great time. And we went off on the girls trip and we started messaging. So he's like, how's your time in Dubai? I'll ring you when I get home. So I'm now thinking, okay, we've had a little bit of space from each other.
He misses me.
And Christmas is coming and he's coming home at Christmas. So we then start speaking about, shall we see each other at Christmas? Is it a good idea? What do we both want? And he's still very much like, oh, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd like to see you. And I was like, well, I'd like to see you as well. Like, let's see each other and see how we both feel. So we had like a week together over Christmas, which was lovely. And we kind of both left each other and said, like, what are we actually doing? Like, it's nice to come back together and realise that what we had hasn't been lost.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I said to him, I was like, whatever's gone on in the last 4 weeks, like, you've been single, I've been single, like, I don't really need to know about it. But if you've been intimate with other people, like, I need to know, because that's not something I want to put myself in. And he was like, no, babe, no, there's been nobody else. And I was like, well, good, because there's been nobody else on my part either. So we had Christmas together and that was lovely. And he went back to Thailand and we spoke about going out in February.
Wait, so he went back to Thailand after?
Basically what had unfolded after the filming was his brother was out there opening a bar and he was like, I'm going to help him open the bar. I was like, wow, okay, this is escalating quite a lot. But he was very much like, I don't know how it's going to unfold. I don't know whether I'm going to be there for 3 months, for 6 months. But even at Christmas time, he was saying he was moving home in March. I was like, right, okay, well, we've done 3 months.
Yeah.
What's another 3 months? And I'll come out in February. Like, it's just after Christmas, he's like out and posting on his social media, like out with different couples. 2 of his best mates, they're in couples and he's like the fifth wheel.
But were you, right now, you were having contact with...
So we're communicating every day, like we're back to as we were. Anyway, he's out with like these new couple friends and they're posting and he's ringing me. He's like, oh, babe, we're just at brunch and we're doing this and we do... So like we're in constant contact with each other. Like he's telling me what's going on. But then like on the odd occasion, he would like go out of an evening, but they're like 7 hours ahead of us. So with the time difference and stuff, like there would be times where he'd say to me at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to bed now. And I just assumed he was having an early night. But then like Instagram is showing you're active online at like 8 o'clock our time, which is like 3 o'clock in the morning there. Yeah. And I'm questioning this and I'm like, what? Like, how is this happening? And he's like, oh, babe, it must just be linked to another Instagram account and other people got access to that Instagram account and maybe it's triggering my Instagram and it looks like I'm online. Mm-hmm. I'm like, So that was like a little thing and I'm like, maybe it's just like my anxiety and fears and all coming to the surface. Anyway, he's off with his couple friends and the one girl in the couple friend is very friendly, shall we say, in pictures and like videos with him. And I'm like, who is this girl? Babe, it's my best friend's wife. They've been together for 10 years. Like when you meet her, you love her. So I was like, right, okay. So this is like January time now. And it's my birthday in January. So he sends me a card for my birthday and I'm on about booking flights. And we said we'd go halves on the flights for me to go out. But he was like stalling, sending the money for the flights. And I was like, look, if you don't want me to come, like, I'm fine with that. We'll just put this to bed now. He was like, no. Sent the money, booked the flights. About 2 days after he sends the money for the flights, he goes on a night out, vanishes. And I'm like, this is really odd. Like, what is happening? In the meantime, he's then posting pictures on social media on nights out with these couple friends. And there's this girl in the photographs as well that's not been there before.
Okay, a new one.
A new one. So I'm like, who's this girl? Oh, she's just one of the girl's friends. She's traveling through, like, she's only here for the week. She's in Thailand. She's off to Australia and da-da-da-da. So this goes on for like the week where he's like, sorry, babe, got really drunk last night, lost my phone. Sorry, babe, got really drunk last night, couldn't find my phone charger. And I'm like, something's going on here. Like, this is not okay. So I now start to think to myself, do I really want to go to Thailand? Like, is this something I want to do? Is this a relationship I want to be in? But he's like, babe, honestly, it's nothing. It's nothing. He even messaged me and said to me, babe, please don't be like this. It's giving me anxiety and I don't want us to be like this. So I'm just like, okay, maybe it's me. But at the same time, I'm like going through these waves of emotion. Like, I'm sitting in feelings that are like sleepless nights.
So much anxiety.
So much. So anyway, I go out to Thailand, fly out to Thailand. He picks me up from the airport. He can't look at me.
Oh no.
And I'm like, something's not right here.
Did you like know when he couldn't look at you?
I actually got a voice note to my best mate and I'm like, he can't look at me. And she's like, oh babe, maybe it's just like nerves. Or I was like, when your ex cheated on you, could he look at you? And she was like, no. We have a night in Bangkok together. We go to this rooftop bar and he says to me, I feel really sick. He starts being sick. I'm not mad about it. I think to myself, oh great, we'll go back to the hotel and have a nice early night, fresh for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow we were driving back to where he is currently living to meet all his couple friends.
Were they all the same couple friends all the time?
All the same couple friends, apart from the one random girl that came in this 1 week. He was like, you're going to love them all when you meet them. And I'm like, right, okay, yeah. And I'm a little bit apprehensive now because I've already raised question marks over this girl being over friendly in videos and photos that I've seen. Anyway, we have a couple of drinks and we go to the bar. Everybody has a few more drinks and everybody's a little bit drunken and he's DJing. And this girl who's meant to be his best mate's partner is basically hanging off him in the DJ booth.
Where's her partner?
Her partner sat in the corner of the room, not bothered. So he comes over and sits down and I'm like, babe, like, what is actually going on here? We all leave in couples and she basically says to her partner, I don't care where you're going, gets on the back of a moped and leaves. Anyway, I say, I want to go home. So we go back to the villa and he's on the phone now to the best mates and the girl. And he's like, why am I in the middle of their relationship drama? And I was like, why are you putting yourself there? So the following morning we wake up and we go to the gym. I walk back from the gym and I genuinely believe that things, if you're actually in tune with things, you get drawn to things. So I'm there and I put my AirPods on the bedside table and my AirPod rolls into the bedside drawer and I open the bedside drawer.
What's in the bedside drawer?
And there's a letter and it's like, to my Thai. And I open up this letter.
Oh no.
And it's like, to wow, what an amazing week we've had together. I think we've got something really special. I'm so sad it's come to an end. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. I'd stay if you would just say the words. I'm so sad it's coming to an end. Love you. And the girl that was visiting for the week. I just went, there it is.
There's the proof.
And I put it on the bed and I took a picture and I sent it to him. And I was like, wow, I was right. I just almost felt a little bit smug in that moment. I was like, you thought you could get away with this. And there's the proof. I knew who this girl was because I'd looked at her social media. So I messaged her and I say to her, hey, I was like, can you shed some light on this situation? She was like, do you want me to ring you? And I was like, yeah, sure, ring me. So in the meantime now, he's in the gym. I've sent him a picture of the letter and he's like, Shit. His response,
she's in love with me.
yeah. She was obsessed with me and she's a psycho. I was like, this letter is obviously something that's been written from the heart. I was like, she's obviously feeling these feelings. You've allowed her to feel these feelings. And you are literally just saying these things about her like she's nothing.
Yeah, and also you're the one who's kept the letter in the bedside table, and like that crazy, surely you wouldn't keep it there.
Exactly. So he gets really upset and he's like, I know, like I should never have done it. I speak to her on the phone, bless her. I actually had more sympathy for her than I did for myself because I almost knew deep down about her.
Yeah.
I knew something was going on that week when she was there, but she was oblivious to me.
So she's just thought she's had a romance with this guy, not knowing, and then it's like...
And like I said to her, I was like, what was he saying to you? And she was like, well, he was agreeing with what I was saying, that we had something really special. And she was like, when I was there, like he took me out, he paid for everything. I genuinely thought like he was such a good guy, like how he is with everybody, how he treated me. She was like, I'm so shocked. And I was like, yeah, you and me both. So anyway, end that conversation. The week goes on, we basically just spend the whole week crying because now I feel like everything's hit me and I'm really emotional. He's really emotional. I leave Thailand and I'm like, I just don't know what we're doing. I don't know. I just need a bit of space from everything. He's ringing a message in. He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, where are you? Are you free for a chat? Like, let's speak. In the meantime of all this now, the best friend's partner, they're posting like they're in the gym together, which is no different to what they've done before. I see a video of the gym's Instagram story and they're very overly friendly in the background. He now tells me that the best mate and this girl have split up.
Oh no.
I'm like, convenient. So I'd obviously met her partner when we'd all been out in couples as friends. Now is saying to me, babe, there's nothing going on between us. Like, we're just friends. He was like, if she's got feelings for me, like that's on her. I messaged her partner of 10 years that she's supposedly just split up with. And he's like, hey, Amy, I'm really glad you reached out. Yeah, I can shed some light on the situation for you. He was like, they've been having an emotional affair for however many weeks. I met with last week, said that she's admitted to having feelings for him and he's said the feelings are mutual. So this guy says to me, can I call you? And I was like, yeah, sure. So he calls me and he was like, what is yours and relationship? So I explained it to him and he's like, oh my God. And he was like, when you came over, he said he didn't want you there. You'd invited yourself and you weren't together. You'd split up last year. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Jesus.
I almost felt like, am I actually deluded? Like, like, were we together? So I've gone back and like looked at messages and voice notes and phone calls. And I'm like, no, we are very much together. He then says to me, he was like, look, like I've been in this relationship for 10 years. I'm just really sad that I thought we were best mates. He told me we were best mates and that he saw his partner as a sister. He was like, he's in my villa. He's sleeping with her 2 days after I'd left. And I'm just like, hang on a minute. He's still been on the phone to me. Being like, babe, nothing's going on. Obviously, this guy gets on the phone to his ex and then the ex calls and then gets on the phone to me and starts shouting at me down the phone. He's like, what lies are you talking? And I'm like, sorry, I've just found out that you have lied to me on so many different occasions and you can't even get on the phone and say sorry. Like, not even any accountability for it. And I just hung the phone up and I just blocked him. And we've not spoke since. And I'm just like, I
can't deal with another lie.
I just found this out. And then about 3 days later, they're plastering it all over social media that they're together and they're on like these sunset runs and they're out having food together and date night. And people are messaging me because as far as everybody else is aware, I've just been out in Thailand and I've just been to see him.
Oh, yeah.
But like I found out now through friends, like he was saying to people we weren't together. And friends had turned around and said to him, like, you cannot bring Amy into this environment with people knowing what you've been doing because it's messy. Like you're asking for trouble.
I actually had this conversation with a friend recently that sometimes the most open, like obviously not in this case, but the most open people are with cheating, they almost get away with it because no one thinks like that they actually would do that.
And I spoke to this girl in question because the girl that he's now with, and she was like, well, he told me you weren't together. And I was like, here's all the evidence that we were together. And I just think to myself, like, loyalty is a characteristic of who somebody is. Like, if somebody's disloyal to another person for you, you shouldn't take that as I've won the prize. You should take that as a warning. So it's been a wild ride.
And how are you doing now?
Really good.
Okay, good.
I think it's been the easiest breakup I've ever had, because on some level, I almost blamed myself. I was like, I should never have gone to Thailand. I should never put myself in that situation.
You would have wondered.
Yeah, if I hadn't seen that hard evidence of what he was capable of, I would have always questioned. And I have no doubt that we would probably still be in contact now. For them 4 or 5 months when he was out there and I was seeing all this stuff online, them feelings were coming up then, and I was sitting in them, and I was just like, let's sit with them, let's heal them. So almost when it unfolded,
You're so done already, kind of.
it was almost just like tick, 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 tick. I'm almost a little bit excited of what's to come, like what's next, because towards the end of that relationship, I felt like I was shrinking as a person to try and help him be better as a person. So it's been nice to kind of come back into the person that I am. And again, like another cliche saying is rejection is redirection. Like, it literally is there to heal you and help you and redirect you somewhere else. And I almost just feel like my best friends say to me, they're like, no one does single like Amy. Like, she almost just like is a phoenix rising from the ashes. She just rises and she just becomes this better version of herself.
I love that.
And sometimes I think to myself, like, oh, I don't need another lesson. I just don't want another lesson. That's exciting. And you can definitely like spin it on his head and be like, you just do not know what's around the corner.
Where's the airport gonna roll?